What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday, and you know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife Chat goes down here on Tuesday. And so, you guys, I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. I hope that your week has started off really well. I know for mine, it has been an amazing, amazing weekend for me. And had the pleasure of going to Atlanta and literally just getting out and just hanging out. You know what I mean? I have not been hanging out. I've been sticking close to home. And this weekend, I had the pleasure of going to hang out with Dr. Deidre Rusaw and Truly Wed Wife Tribe down in Atlanta. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you. Make sure that you're hitting the share button and letting all my one sexy wives know that Wife Chat is going down. But this weekend, I just had a blast. It was so nice to, be able to put on some real clothes and some heels and just get all dolled out up and hang out with some other wives. And it was just a blessing this weekend. And I just want to say to Deidre, you did it. You did the thing with Truly Wed Wives Night Out Escapement. It was an amazing weekend. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you. Hopefully you are hitting the share button. Again, I was just talking about, I hope your week is off to a great start. Mine is off to a great start. And like I said, I had an amazing weekend. I got a chance to hang out with one of my sister friends, Miss Kiki Ramsey, down in Atlanta. Thank you guys so much for your prayers and traveling mercies. Again, just hit me up in the chat and let me know where you guys are joining me from. Tonight's Wife Chat is coming from a wife all the way in Arizona. And so we're going to be talking about, I'm married to someone totally opposite from me. I married someone totally opposite from me. And this wife has only been married for 8 months now. And she reached out to me in my DM on IG. And she was just like, Dr. Gail, I love my husband. We dated for a year and a half, but I'm realizing that we're so opposite. And how do I fix it before it gets so bad? And so that's what we're going to talk tonight about on Wife Chat. But again, I want to give you guys some news. BSB, Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage, is going live in 2022, January 2022. Just let me give you some precursors. Registration is open, but I'm only going to have 85 wives. And this past weekend, 5 wives registered. So I only have 80 spaces. And I know you're thinking that's a lot of spaces. No, it's not, because if you guys know about Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage, it sells out every single year, and it sells out way before January. So I'm running an early bird special right now. So if you guys are interested in coming, I'm not one that if they, shut us down or something like that, that I keep your money. I don't do that. But if you're thinking about coming to Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage in January 2022, you need to go ahead and register, because again, I had 85 spots. I'm down to 80 because 5 women registered just this past weekend. So just if you're interested, go ahead and reserve your spot. Again, if we're going to be doing social distancing, so I'm getting a ballroom big enough to be able to accommodate that. Also, if they happen to shut us down or something to that effect, just know that I will refund your money. I'm not going to be one of those people that don't refund your money. So just know that. So you can visit bsbconference.com, and I'll put it in the chat. But tonight, I want to talk to you guys about, let me post that right now. So while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget, and I'm going to start advertising it to my list. So you guys are getting it before my list. And most 90% of my list are people who have been to the conference before. So again, thank you guys for hopping on tonight. Again, this chat comes from a wife in Arizona that has been married 8 months. And she says, I married someone that is very opposite from me, Dr. Gail. And how can I how can we fix this before we make it work? So let me just do my promo and I will be right back. Up and let me know where you're listening and viewing from. I would love to see that in the chat. And again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for hitting the share button. But again, how, you know, the old adage is that opposites attract, right? And when Gail and I got married 33 years ago, we're totally opposite. When people meet my husband, they think that he should be a loud mouth like me. Hello, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me from Wisconsin. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And so they think that, you know, that Gail should be a big mouth and an outgoing person like myself, right? But Gail is so laid back and quiet and relaxed and not intense. He's totally opposite from me. And so when people say opposites attract, 99% of the time, you are opposite from your spouse, right? One is usually more talkative. The other one's more, you know, quiet, because two big mouths and two quiet people usually don't attract to each other, right? And so this is how I'm going to give you some steps on if you're really opposite from your spouse. It's not a bad thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing, right? It's a good thing because, you know, when I'm on a 10, Gilbert can bring me down to a 3 or 4 because that's just his demeanor. Now, you know, and when he's on a 10, you know, I usually go with a 10 with him because, again, that's my personality. But that is not always a good gel, right? And when you get married, you know, God's design for marriage is for us to cover one another, right? And to be that balance. And so what I want, and I told the young lady that I would be addressing her a question today. And so she told me she was going to be on, and I do see that she is on. So the first thing that I want to tell you is to embrace your differences, right? Embrace your differences because it's good to be different from your spouse, right? It is also good for you guys to have some things in common because you wouldn't have gotten married and you wouldn't have dated as long as you did if you did not have some things in common. But you want to learn to embrace your differences because that is where the sweet spot is. Really learning to embrace your spouse's differences and find common ground, right? Find common ground and ways for each of you guys to work together wherever there is a difference, right? And sometimes that could be hard, but sometimes that could be a good thing too, because it makes you have to communicate more than you normally would, so you can really figure out how your spouse is thinking, how, you know, why they're thinking the way that they're thinking. And that way you guys can come to a meeting of the minds, right? And again, you're not going to always agree on all of everything that's going on, but literally, you know, embrace the differences. I had to embrace that Gail was not always wanting to run the streets like I like to run the streets. I had to embrace that Gail wasn't a loud mouth and didn't get excited about the things that I get excited about all the time. I had to embrace that. And I had to realize that he was put in my life to balance me out because, again, I'm always on a 10. Okay, so when you're looking at your spouse, it's not always a bad thing if you are very opposite. So number 2, respect each other's boundaries. Respect each other's boundaries, and you're going to have disagreement, but learn to agree to disagree. Learn to agree to disagree, right? And you're not going to always be able to solve everything in that moment. And you're not going to be able to see each other's point of view all the time in those moments either. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for telling me where you're joining me from. I see that a lot of you guys are watching me from my YouTube channel, and I truly appreciate that as well. Just make sure that you're sharing it and letting all my One Sexy wives know that you are watching this, right? So agree to disagree. And it's okay. It's okay to agree to disagree. But my thing is that if you agree to disagree, when you do separate, and when I say separate, I mean, go about your business, just sit down and sometime reflect and say, how can I see my husband or my wife's point of view? Because again, when you're stuck in one point of view, it's not always the only view, and it's not always the right view. So when Gail and I are at odds, we agree to disagree. We don't get where it blows up anymore, but we go back and we try to see the other person's point of view, and have a discussion about it when we're both in a calm state. So it's okay to agree to disagree. Okay. And number 3, understand that as you guys grow together, you both will change, but you also will be able to form bonds and have the same values. Again, just know that as you guys grow together, you will learn to understand each other's, boundaries, and understand each other's way of thinking, and understand how you flow, and all of those different kind of things. Because again, sometimes that takes time for that to happen. Hey, beautiful lady. How are you, Wakila? How are you? It was so good to see you this weekend in person again. Thank you for joining me. And so again, you will learn to understand each other's, and you will learn to grow together. Again, when Gail and I got together at age 21 and 22, we came from totally different backgrounds, with totally different experiences. He was very disciplined in the military. I was just like, hear me roar, I was a career woman and just, doing my own thing. Right. And then, two people coming together, right, with two different, ways of doing things, different raisings, and all of those kind of different things. And then Gilbert gave his life to Christ way before I did. And it was just this thing going on in my household. But after 33 years, we have grown together. Do we disagree on some things? Absolutely. But we have learned to try to see each other's point of view. And that just comes with maturity. And you only been married 8 months, young lady. So again, I welcome to the world of being married. And I thank you for reaching out to me to try to get some wisdom, because you don't want to be arguing and disagreeing all the time. But I want you to start seeing that as you grow and mature, you and your spouse will grow and mature together. And it's not going to be perfect, but you can come to the meeting of the minds. Okay, great. And yes, it was to see you. Thank you so much for joining me from Arkansas. Okay, all right. And I'm not going to even try to say your name because I'm not good with that. But I thank you so much for joining me from Arkansas. Tequila. I hope that I said that, but maybe I didn't. But it's okay. But thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Again, make sure that you're hitting the share button. And the last thing I want to say is become a student of your spouse. Learn to embrace what they're good at, right? Because again, when you're thinking that you're on two different paths and you're two different people going in two different directions, we can tick off all the things that are going bad and the bad things that our spouses do. But learn to embrace the good things that they bring to the table, right? The good things that they cover you with that you are falling short with. And I had to learn that when I was, in the situation with Gail. Like I could, when, I would call my mentor and I would say, but he's not doing this. And I could tick off 30 things. And it's what she would say to me is, Gail, but what is he doing right? What is he doing right? What do you guys agree on? Right. And then I would be stunned because I'm like, but he does this. And then I had to learn to start looking at the good along with all the bad. And so what I would say to you is become a student of your spouse and learn to embrace what they do good and not always focus on all the things that he does wrong or you guys disagree with. Because again, you're on this journey for life and you want to make sure that you're pointing out the good things as well. Because as wives, we can do a good job of pointing out all the negative things. but we don't do a good job of doing the positive things. And that was the reason why years ago I created that 30 days of gratitude challenge that you can take on my website for free, because it was a challenge that I had to take for 30 days to find something that Gail did right every single day. No matter how our marriage was at the time, it was not good, but I had to find something good every single day for 30 days. And I managed to do it because I was so good at telling him what he did wrong. And so again, I hope and pray that this has helped my wife from Arkansas. Again, congratulations for getting married 8 months ago. Hang in there. And let me just tell you, you and your spouse are going to grow together. You're going to have different experiences together, and you are going to disagree. But learn to agree to disagree, and then come back and try to see the other person's perspective and their side of things and why they think that way. Because again, it's going to get to a point where you're going to start, having your opinions and stuff like that. And again, thank you guys so much. If you have any questions for me, you can post them in the chat. I always go back even when I get off of here, and I acknowledge your questions. If there's questions that you don't want to be seen, you're welcome to DM me. You guys know that I offer a free 15-minute, no trying to sell you nothing consultation on, whatever. If you have a challenge or whatever, I will always try to give you a tool and a strategy to help you in your marriage, because you guys know I want to see you win in every single area of your marriage. And again, I did open the doors this weekend at the Wives Night Out Escapement with Dr. Deidre. I had the best time in Atlanta. It was, I really needed that. And again, I had 85 tickets. I sold 5 of them. So if you're thinking about coming to Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage in January, I would tell you, you need to register now, because I have not sent this to my list. But once I do, it will probably sell out, and we'll probably be sold out by October. And again, usually it's a much bigger conference, but I want to make sure that we're able to social distance. And right now I am running an early bird special. And you guys, I just want to say this. Have y'all ever tried this water hint? Because I just started drinking this water, and it is the best water. I'm not a person that usually drinks a lot of water. And, my son introduced me to this water, and I've been drinking water like crazy. And I don't know. I'm not a representative or anything, but this water is really good. So if you're a woman having problems drinking water, try this hint. Hey, Gail, wow, powerful. I will look for your 30-day gratitude challenge. It's worth it. Is that what it is called? Yes, it is, Vicky. Thank you so much for joining me. It is called the 30-day challenge. It's actually up on my website. So if you just go to my website under ebooks, you can download it for free. I don't charge you anything for it, and you just print it off, and you can literally it's a pamphlet. And what I tell you to do is write something every single day, whether they take out the trash, whatever it is, you can find positive about your spouse and do it for 30 days. And then when I gifted it to Gail, it was like, he could not believe it, like literally, because my husband's not an emotional kind of guy, but he really got emotional years ago when I did that. And I've had maybe 14,000 wives over the past couple of years to take the gratitude challenge, because again, I want to see you win. I really do. And it just allows your spouse to see you in a different light, and let them see in writing that you do appreciate what they do every single day. Even if it's just taking the trash, even if it's just getting up, going to work, whatever. And some days I struggle because we were not in a good space when I did the challenge. But I would like, thank you so much for taking out the trash. Thank you so much for getting up to go to work, right? Those were the kind of things. But now I take the challenge every single year, and it has grown so much because we have grown. I have grown. I have changed. And I've got myself counseling and all of those different kind of things. Because if you guys follow me, y'all know I was the bad person in the marriage. I was the crazy one in the marriage. I was the one that did all the crazy stuff in the marriage, not my husband. Usually it's vice versa, but I was the one. And so again, yeah. yeah, thank you so much, Vicky, for saying that. And I hope that you do take the challenge. And again, it's up on my website. If you go under shop, under ebooks, it's a free 30-day gratitude challenge book. So again, you guys, if you have any questions for me, literally, I will never say your name or anything like that. I will just say this question came from a wife, like I said, in Arizona today. And I will read your question and I will answer your question. I am an open book. I am licensed to do this. I'm a licensed counselor, certified coach. I am a licensed sexologist. You name it. I'm not going to talk about anything that I have not conquered or I don't know about. Just know that I'm not going to just get on here and just throw anything out at you guys. Again, I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight on Wife Chat. If you need me, you know how to contact me. I'm Gail Crowder on all my social media. My website is gailcrowder.com. If you need to chat, just click the button where it says free discovery call. And again, I will try to get you some answers or some tools and some strategies just to help you take your marriage to a whole nother level. If you're looking for a coach to coach you in your marriage, I'm your girl. I am licensed to do that. And I would love to work with you. Again, you guys, I'm here every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join me on Thursday on my YouTube channel. And it's just Gail Crowder. And again, I have hundreds and hundreds of teachings up there as well. I love you guys. And y'all have an amazing, 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 amazing night.